Well, good morning. It's the 10th day of March, and it's another day of salvation. Now, what could possibly be, or what could the day of salvation be? Today is the day of salvation. It's simply today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as they did in the wilderness back in the day of Moses. Moses led the people from Egypt. He led them out with great signs and wonders and was taking them by following God. There was a cloud by day, there was light by night. Moses even went up on the mountain and came down with two tablets of stone that God had written on for him. And when he got down off of the mountain, some things happened. You can read about it. Then you can read about 40 years in the wilderness as a whole, you might say, generation of people died off except about two people. And those two people that didn't die were the two of the spies that went in to look at the land and said, let's go. I know you don't understand. I know that you don't understand. Why do people not understand? Do you know that? Your adversary, the devil. Yes, I said your adversary, the devil. My adversary, the devil. Do you understand that the devil is not God's friend? No, he's not God's friend. God did not create the devil to torment you. That was not the reason for his creation. He was before the world was. I'm talking about Satan was before the world was. I don't know how long Satan was before the world was, but I'm sure it could have been a long time. I really don't know. But at the time that God wanted to, God created the heavens and the earth. And he did it in what's called a day. And he did several things on what is called a day. And after 7 days or 6 days, it was complete. That part was done. It was finished. Now it's up to what God has created. Well, what did he create? He created all the animals. He created everything that was seen. He created man. He breathed into him the breath of life and told the man to do certain things. Populate what God had created for him. This is not Satan's domain. It's not his domain. He may be ruling here, but it's not his domain. It does not belong to him. Never has, never will. There's one thing about a thief. Once he's got something, he's got it, but it ain't his. He's a thief. Satan is the thief. He is the deceiver. If I am deceived, it will be because I did not believe God. And Satan will deceive whosoever he can. Even God's elect, if it be possible. If Satan has deceived 1/3 of the angels, and he deceived all of them in the world, you might say, in the day of Noah, except for Noah, then you can say that the devil, your adversary, is very crafty. But he can be defeated. And you say, how? How can he be defeated? God can defeat anything. There is nothing that can exalt itself against the knowledge of God. But Satan thinks that he can. He thinks that he can because he sees that he has deceived so many men and women. And he's deceiving them in the church. Oh, how can he do that? He can do that by becoming a messenger of light, transforming himself into one. Oh, yeah, he can do it. He is something else, totally a spirit, and he is Antichrist. The Antichrist spirit is nothing other than Satan masquerading as the Christ. And he will come as another Jesus. In other words, he will preach Jesus. He's not void of being able to use anything that God says or does. He can copy it. He cannot create the heavens and the earth. He cannot form a man and put life into the man. He can only kill, steal, and destroy. Oh, these are very wonderful days to live in. How can you say that? How can I say that? I can say that because God lets me say that. They are great, wonderful, and terrible days. But the Son of Man, whom I preach, was the Christ, the Son of the living God. You really don't, we really don't know what God will do in the last days. But we will find out, because when the last days are here, God does things. Does that mean that Satan will not do anything? No, Satan will do more in the last days because he knows his time is short. The king will return. Now, I just want to ask you one question. Who determines who the king is? Who determines these things? Might it be him who created the heavens and the earth? Might it be him who talked and clothed Adam in the garden? Just might it not be our Father in heaven? Yes, there is no might be about it. Our Father in heaven can do in clay and make what he wants to from one lump. If a man wants to be, he will do certain things to become it. What will he do? If you want to become like God, you will lay aside sin and you will believe God. And not only will you believe God, but you will become as God. You will not become God. No man will be God Almighty. But he has a son now, born from the virgin that he picked. And this son laid it down. And he told the people in his day, yes, I am the Son of God. And I was born to be a king. And he will be the king. And he's coming soon. And this has taken more than 10 minutes. I don't know what's going to happen. But if we do not obey God and believe, you know, as we should, we will wind up as they did earlier. Now, how did they wind up? I think they died. I think they died. You can only die once, and then comes the judgment. You can't redo yesterday, but you can live today. And I hope and I pray that we have the mind of Christ. Thank you. Just under 12 minutes.